What if, let's say I'm ready to start this process with DN Express? What's the timeline, the process, and all that?
All right, yes. So our general timeline, most cases, if everything's in order, take about anywhere between 6, 8, and 8 weeks, or in 4 to 6 weeks. So we're looking at less than 2 months, sometimes a month and a half, and getting your dual citizenship registered and getting your official document issued by the Mexican registry, where it recognizes you as a citizen of Mexico based on your existing birth information in the US, no? Because that's our end goal for you getting a certificate that says America Samuels, born in the US from a Mexican parent, you are a Mexican citizen. That's what we want you to get. And what documents are we really looking to get in order to demonstrate that you are eligible is this case birth documents, no? Your birth certificate that establishes where you were born, who your parents are, your age, all your information, no? In order to identify who's claiming this citizenship right, no? After that, we look at the parents. Were they born in Mexico or did they have to claim dual citizenship as well? No. If they were born in Mexico, it's real straightforward. No. Dad was born in Mexico. He was born, let's say, in Mexico City. And on your birth certificate, it's going to say his name, his full name, where he was born. And that establishes the link between parent and child. Now, if, of course, like the example we mentioned, if it was a grandparent, of your parent will clearly say they were born in the US or wherever they were born, but their dual citizenship would also establish that Mexican citizen born outside of Mexico. And we start building that chain together and link the generations together. But essentially, that's what we're mainly looking at. Now, the other documents you need to present are quite simple. It's more for like requirement identification, whether that be a copy of your passport, a driver's license, in some cases a marriage certificate. In the most common law countries, you change your name when you get married, no longer using your maiden information. Mexico always manages it, but other than that, that's the main documents that are handled.
You said like 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, definitely didn't express no, because, for example, my process to obtain my dual citizenship, it was a process. I mean, just setting up an appointment, it took like a year to get the appointment. And then it was a little bit of a headache on my part because, so my mom was born in Chihuahua and her birth certificate, the name was incorrect. So it delayed the process. But, anyways, finally we were able to get it. But how does it work with you? So, do they have to go in person? I wish I would have known of DN Express before before I applied for mine. So I'm just trying to have a little bit more of understanding of that part. What does the person who is interested in applying for dual citizenship through DN Express? What's the process like?
Okay, absolutely. So the way we do it, we work very closely in order to get our clients' applications through and really streamline it. No? So a lot of people who apply, they try doing it to the consulate, which is usually the default option when you're in the U.S. or anywhere outside of Mexico. But as you're aware, the process can take a long time, mainly because of scheduling, logistics, and hey, even if you're in the door, doesn't mean you have it guaranteed. Sometimes you might take a surprise that, hey, you know what? There's a clerical error, there's a typo, something's off. Hey, you know what? All the information is updated, technology has advanced. We don't just go off what the certificate says right off the paper. We go off what the digital systems say, and so we have to modernize. And the way we start working with this is we basically channel everything directly through the right means. It's like if you were to have done it personally in Mexico without the hassle of running back and forth. Hey, you know what? I'm missing this. There's an error here. What am I supposed to do now? All that. So what we focus first on is reviewing everything. We want to make sure that what you're presenting is acceptable. Sometimes from the very start, everything's good to go. And hey, you know what? Let's just streamline it. Let's work it. Let's make it happen. Sometimes there are details. You already mentioned you're aware how that works. There's surprises. When we do detect that there's something that's a bit off, oftentimes it's a fix that needs to be done directly in the certificate of the applicant. And this is all done in the US. Amendment requests are provided. Those are submitted. Once those are approved, we get back on track. Essentially, the idea is to not make any roadblocks for people who are applying for their dual citizenship.
Okay, so basically, I'm ready to apply with you. You take care of everything. I just provide to you the documentation, and behind the scenes, DN Express handles all the I would call it the paperwork and the stressful part, right?
Correct, that's right. So